talking about criminal activity and stuff, I think one of the best scams I've ever seen was these two guys. They went and found a house that was for sale.
Yeah.
Nobody lived there. They pulled the for sale sign out of the yard. They went and rented a car. They put the car on Craigslist. All right, and had people meet them at that house, said it was their house and whatnot. People would come look at the car, and they would tell them, you know, it was a hell of a deal. It's too much to refuse. And people wouldn't have the money right away. So they'd say, well, I got a lot of other people looking at it. And they said, well, if I give you $500, will you hold it? Yeah, they'd run to the ATM, bring them $500. So then the next people would show up, look at the car, and they do the same thing. And at the end of the day, they'd tell them to come back tomorrow or whatever, you know. At the end of the day, they'd take the freaking car back, and thousands of dollars they'd break out of these people, you know. Take the rental car back to the rental place, put the for sale sign back in the yard. These people show up to the house, and there ain't nothing there. You got 20 people in the driveway looking for their car.
Yeah, that would be a man. Pretty good.
Everybody's looking at each other, wondering why they're all there. What are you here for? I'm here to pick up my car.
Your car.
There's some thinkers in this world.
Well, there's a bunch of foreign guys in Ohio, Alliance, Ohio. They leased this big ass warehouse. They would go around and they would take everybody's scrap tires dirt cheap. They filled that fucking warehouse full and then just walked away. Took all the money and walked. They made millions. But I mean, this you know was an old abandoned warehouse, so it was fucking huge and it was full, top to bottom, front to back. And they collected money for all the tires that they were disposing of. And just walked away from the lease.
Oh my God. Pull myself up and come in this morning. Bust ass on this job. Has not happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet.
No, there's been a lack of ass busting. Head studs. So we got the valve car off and the oil rail off. I had to make another trip to the parts counter because this thing actually has the original standpipe and dummy plug in the oil rail, which is really hard to believe. So there's no way we'll let that ride. We're going to change those out with updated plugs. So this is the updated dummy plug, and it's got cushion O-rings in it, that's how you know. And it's also a 12mm Allen. Alright, so the original ones are just a 1/2 inch square, so you can take it out with a 1/2 inch drive. ratchet, socket, whatever. And the update, and this is a standpipe. So we're going to replace the standpipe. That goes from the branch tube to that piece there in this section. And that's a 12 millimeter head also. So the progression of this thing was, the first one, the original that came in the truck on the older models was a square drive. And then the update from that was a 10 millimeter hex, and the brand new latest and greatest, or probably the last to ever do, was a 12 millimeter hex. So that's how you know where you're at without taking it apart. I gotta admit that I find these trucks amaze me. This truck's an 04 model, 300,000 miles, and it's never had these plugs replaced, these dummy plugs and standpipes, and the O-rings haven't leaked. And that further tells me that it's on the original injectors, because if anybody put injectors in this thing, they would have do like I'm doing and updated that stuff. It's quite amazing. What was I gonna say? Oh, so for some reason I thought this was an early 04. I mean, I looked, and you know, I looked for the ICP and the valve cover, and it wasn't. It was in there. I just overlooked it. But the glow plug harness is like in between an 03 and a late 04, so it's kind of confusing. Release. These things get a little dirt in them, they don't want to come loose. You may spend half this video looking at my shoulder, because I gotta kind of get in here where I can work on this thing. I'm trying to get in here where you can see what I'm doing also. Can be a bit of a trick, a bit of a juggling act. Let's pop all these injectors out of here. These come out a lot easier than a 7.3. Of course, now I'll probably just jinx myself. Now I'm going to take the opportunity to pop this glow plug harness out of here. But by having all this apart, I can salvage it without damaging it. That's the theory anyway, because I can pry it out from the inside. Something you wouldn't have the luxury of being able to do if you were only doing glow plugs and not an actual, you know, if you're just doing glow plugs, you wouldn't have to take all this stuff off. They come out from the outside. This is the tool you would use to take them out, and it's a great idea when everything's brand new and works properly, but get these things out in the field, especially when there's salt and corrosion involved. The O-rings kind of weld themselves in place. Worked pretty good. That one came out quite easily. Kind of double teaming. I'm working from the outside with a special tool. I'm prying on the inside. Just give her a push-pull effect. That one's out. That one's out. These are real oily, so they may come out without a lot of trouble. That one's out. Came flying out of there. There's our glow plug harness. It's a two-piece deal, and over on this side of the engine, we're a lot further away from everything, so we can actually put the standpipe back in as one piece. On the other side, you'd have to split it up. This side, we're lucky. So we're going to get this out of here. Too long. Let's see. One, two. There's a glow plug, just nice and oil soaked, drippy dippy. Now normally I don't do the next step. Normally when I take an injector out, I just put the new injector right back in there. These have been out for a long time, and I actually went to lunch. So I'm going to put the new injectors in and then just spin the motor over in case any liquid, fuel, or whatever's got down in the cylinder, brake clean. Let it blow out the glow plug holes, and we'll put the glow plugs in, put the glow plug harness back on, then put the oil rail on, standpipe, valve cover, degas bottle, air filter. We'll be done with this operation. Lube up these two O-rings and that O-ring. I just kind of hold it together with the hold down. I put them in at the same time, just slide them together. Makes it line up a little easier. Well, I'm sorry. What else is in my hand? I need to hold the nerve here. It's not screwed up. Now that's screwed up. Just check the hammers. I'm going to get the fork loose. Then no problems. That takes care of that. Put our injector connectors in. Man, that thing's gonna be hard to flip up in there. Get more persuasion. I guarantee you what you don't want to happen is get everything back together and go to plug an injector in and push that back through. So you definitely want to make sure they're all seated. I mean, you can go ahead and plug them in now. I'm trying to keep as much dirt from falling in here as possible, so I don't want to shake the harness around. I think we've done pretty good so far. Trying to keep it as clean as possible. Working in chassis. Working in the old chassis. Just going to use a starter button. how to keep this thing from fueling up and oiling up and all that. You see the mist come out. So we're good to go. So this little hook tool, it hooks in the harness right in that area, just like that. And I mean, it's real brittle, and that one just shattered, even with me pushing on it from the inside. It didn't hurt anything. I mean, we can run that. It's not gonna hurt anything to have that like that. So that didn't break right in here, so we're able to salvage this. We're gonna freshen these O-rings up though. They're just flat as can be. We'd end up with a leak, so we'll pop these O-rings off here, put some fresh ones on there. Work this down a little bit. Crud on it. We'll put the new ones on. Come in a bag of 4. That's the number. On, make sure they're not rolled. We'll lube them up and I just lube them up with motor oil, put it back on the truck, use this to put it back on. So basically you'll go back in and push them on with the tool, because this is real flexible. You try to push with that and it's just gonna wobble and break. If you don't have a tool, a screwdriver will work just fine. But first I gotta put the glow plugs back in. That one's in. That one's in. That one's in. And the back one I can just push on the base like this.